Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas. This is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live, all the things. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all are already getting comfortable in comments. I love, love, love to see that. If you are brand new, get comfortable in comments. Pop that little cherry and start typing. Let us know where you're from, what you think. We are going to chat the Valley. We're going to chat and show you the latest Gage picture that he posted without comments off. Yes, y'all are already talking about Karen Reed being found innocent or not guilty, I guess, in most of her stuff. I will let you know the one thing that she was found guilty, and I'll let you know what her punishment is going to be. Oh my goodness. And let's be like, really, the Karen Reed retrial is so divisive. So let's just have a friendly reminder to be very respectful of our opinions. Just let us know that we obviously want the best. It was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. I mean, a young man is not with us anymore. He was raising two of his nieces and nephews. Anyway, so just awful. So just be understanding and respectful that, if somebody thought she was guilty and somebody else thinks she was innocent, it's just an opinion. So let's be clear about that. Anyways, okay, thank you for tapping the screen over on TikTok. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Robin is always so good for liking the live. Thank you so much. Yesterday, I think we had almost 20,000 lives. So let's try 20,000 taps of the screen, which are free. So please keep tapping the screen over on TikTok. I would very much appreciate it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's chat. First of all, if I see one more Earl the Pearl TikTok, I'm gonna vomit. Now he's doing maybe he has been doing like recaps of Love Hotel and like predictions. And I'm like, honey, we're not making a career out of this. Like, what are we freaking doing? Anyways, okay, I will show you the picture that Gage posted very soon. And chat about that. Then we're going to chat the Valley, watch what happens live. Definitely want to know your opinions on the whole Jax of it all, the Dark Danny of it all. It was a lot. The burner account of it all. And then, of course, we'll chat today's Jeff Lewis Live with Phaedra Parks, who I thought was phenomenal. And then Ashley Simpson Ross and Kelly Wagner, who I thought just, I don't know. I mean, I thought the whole hour seemed very produced, and I've got my thoughts on why Kelly was there with Ashley and why she knew all the dates. Let me know if you agree with me. So we'll get into that soon. Okay, so again, I guess last night they did do it. I missed it. It was at 5 o'clock Texas time, so I wasn't even thinking about it. And Countess Luann went live with her guy. Let's just call her suitor. James, that she met from the Love Hotel, but she'd also admitted on Watch What Happens Live that she has another suitor that had given her this huge aquamarine ring. So I don't really know why they went live. If anyone watched it, let me know. I did not watch it. It was interesting. Somebody says, I definitely want to know what it was about. Like, what was the vibe? Are they exclusive? Are they not? Did they talk about that or not? Like, is she just helping him promote his new book? You know what I mean? Because he definitely has a new book out. It's just his TikTok name is like Reality TV Life Lover. That grosses me out. Like, seriously, you're too old for this nonsense. Earl the Pearl is clearly doing everything to stay in the limelight. I'm just like, move on. Y'all were on a reality TV show. Just move on. But why would they? When everybody that comes off of a reality TV show gets a huge social media, gets on another show, gets on this, gets on that. So, I mean, okay, Louise, tell us what they said. Also, if you ever want to come on in comments, just copy and paste that StreamYard link that is in there, or it's always one of the first comments that I star. So let me know. Dee says Luann is a low-key hoe. Oh my goodness. She's sex positive, let's put it that way, right? Kay Kitty says James talks like a woman and Luann talks like a man. LOL. I mean, that's not wrong. Oh, Louise says they are adorable together. They said they see each other often. I think that's when she's come to LA or Santa Monica, as she says, right? Tracy says, I think they are really in love. I mean, I think they are too, but I wonder, how are you in love with someone and dating someone else? I think you can date multiple people, but I think once you're in love, which I think she has said, and he certainly said from week one on Love Hotel that he is loving her. You know what I mean? D says sex positive is another term for low key hoe. I mean, that's the 2025 version of it, right? For sure. Um, that's who has a podcast. Louise says, why can't they do what they want? So what? They have a podcast. Luann and James have a podcast? Do they? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Shanda says major ick, so thirsty and so many red flags. I mean, Earl the Pearl is not the Love Hotel influencer that I'm looking for. I mean, I don't know who I'm looking for, but it's not Earl the Pearl. And I don't know that I'm looking for a book from James, like on life hacks or whatever his thing is about. Anywho. Okay, so if you're on TikTok, you will see this. If you're on YouTube, if you're listening live as a podcast, you're going to have to scroll over to the 6-minute mark into it so you can see the picture. This is the picture that Gage posted last night. Obviously, I'm blocked from Gage, so I can never see it, but it's a picture of clearly his hand and Monroe's hand, which looks larger than a tiny 8-year-old, but next to his, it does look rather large. A lot of y'all messaged me, and it looks like it's a Monroe spiral or notebook, and it says in kids' handwriting, Scott and Gage wedding planning, exclamation point. Comments were off, are off. So I cannot see this. People have to send it to me. Someone posted it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. I mean, thoughts. It just seems he doesn't post hardly anything about his child. He knows his public Instagram. If this was a private Instagram and it was his, 300 closest family and friends and cousins and high school whatevers, and somebody reposted it off of that, then that happens, right? But this is a public Instagram. Like the fact that he knows, I might say 80% of his followers or people that look or care about his content about this are Jeff Lewis Live listeners, whether they're haters or lovers of Jeff Lewis Live, lets me know that he only posted this because he knew it was going to get back to Jeff. I mean, it's like, is she planning the wedding? I mean, I don't know. And I guess they're going to wear the wedding rings every day. Like it's like a thing, like maybe they're both engaged, right? So when Gage proposed to Scott, they posted a picture with both of them having wedding bands on. So I'm assuming that means they're just going to wear them until they have the wedding. Interesting. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I think she should have wrote Scott and Daddy's wedding planning. I don't know. Anyways. Yes, Mariah Joy says that post was a direct attack, right? D says love will keep us together. I mean, it feels like that, right? Diane says weird and thirsty. Michael Riley says Gage will rub this in forever. And an engagement shouldn't be. Thank y'all for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up. I'm going to take that button off now. An engagement should be an announcement of pure love and joy and happiness. It shouldn't be to rub it into your ex that you share an 8-year-old co-parenting with. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, like I said, when anyone, which I have a public Instagram because I realize there's people that look at my stuff, but I'm also a fan account, right? I don't have a private Instagram, but I do have a private Facebook. So that is close family and friends, right? So I wouldn't post something Jeff Lewis related necessarily there. I would post it on my Sarah from Texas podcast stuff. So it just seems interesting. The fact that he and Scott always said neither one of them wanted the limelight. They wanted things left alone. Then I'm like, respectfully, then why do both of you each have your own public Instagram accounts? Like private ones would be where you have to request to join and you have to request to follow them. In other words, It can't be some guy you met on the street or dated 4 years ago. It's got to be someone that you want to see pictures of. Now, with that, people can always betray them and repost the stuff. And then they got to go, ugh, like somebody betrayed me, what have you. But when they post it on a public Instagram, they are well aware of the attention it's going to get. And obviously, if you got to post something and turn the comments off, it's probably a sign that it was very controversial to post. Y'all let me know what you think in comments. I know you will. The way I see it says Gage is going to make sure it's a short engagement so he can tie the knot ASAP. Heather says Gage wants to adopt Scott's son to ensure an income when Monroe's runs out, calculated and desperate. Margaret says Scott doesn't do anything to cause any trouble. It's always Jeff and Gage. I mean, I don't think, trust me, I don't think Scott is causing any trouble, but I feel like, why does he have a public Instagram if he was posting pictures of his child when he knows the only reason he's, quote, famous from people he doesn't know is due to the Jeff Lewis relationship and being on Jeff Lewis Live and being talked about. So it just make sense to me. I feel like it's almost like if someone's saying, oh, I want to be private, I don't want to be talked about, I don't want to whatever, and then you have a public Instagram and post your kid, nobody would have, why would you have a public Instagram if you want to be private? And if you especially want to be private about your child that you brought into this world alone as a single dad, then why would you post that to that? Like, have a private Instagram. I realize there's celebrities that are kind of forced or kind of have to have a public Instagram, like Andy Cohen for his job, for his career, to promote things, to do ads, all that kind of stuff. That's why you do that. But he also has a private Instagram that he talks about that he'll send just really close pictures and things that he wants real family and friends to see. We're definitely going to talk about Jax. Michelle says, I think most of the reality stars are in for a dry spell in TV production. Reality TV production decreased by 57% in the second quarter of 2024 compared to the same period last year. Well, I think a lot of stuff has gone down, right? Which is fine. My husband and I were talking the other day. There are why we were talking, because we're getting fiber installed tomorrow, which is a perfect day because just in case it takes forever or there's a hiccup with it, what have you, I won't have to stress about going live. There is no Jeff Lewis Live tomorrow. It is the Juneteenth holiday. So I will be off also because there's no Jeff Lewis Live to talk about. So I will also take the day off because it's a perfect day since it is getting our fiber installed. So we were chatting about, like, what should we get rid of our satellite that we pay a fortune for? Should we do just streaming? How do we get our live shows? How do we get Bravo? Send me all the info, and don't send me something that's super weird. Like, I need something foolproof. I don't need something that's everything somebody tells me, then they end up finding out in 3 months they don't like it, or the price goes up and then it gets very expensive. So I don't know. I can't deal with that. If not, we're just going to die with satellite TV that we've had since the 90s, literally, and paying $250 a month for, which I think is ridiculous, right? That's silly. On top of, we also pay for all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Wait, you use Hulu, you get every single channel, same as cable. Wait, what? Okay. I didn't even know that was an option. Hulu. So that's how you get Bravo? I've heard of YouTube TV, but then some people, my friends, have trouble with that. So I wasn't really sure I wanted to switch over to that yet. I don't know. Okay, so maybe we'll look into Hulu. I mean, it is getting ridiculous with all the apps. I cannot even keep up. My husband even said last night, it's ridiculous how many different TV shows there are and how many different shows there are to watch. Like, it's almost like overload for sure. Anyway, so wish us luck with that, because today my camera was going off and somebody was at the front door at 7:09 this morning. And they were like, hi, we're just here to install your fiber. And I'm like, no, that's tomorrow. And they're like, oh, we do the outside part today. Then at 7:15 in the morning, I had to decide where I wanted the outside plug prot, because tomorrow they will take that, wherever I chose, they'll take that inside part, and that's where they'll take the wire and put the modem, router. Like, I don't even know. Is a modem and a router the same thing? I don't even want to know. I just want Wi-Fi to be there, and I want it to be a good price that doesn't go up every freaking month. Okay, Laura says same. We have Hulu. I had to ditch the dish because the snow would build up and lose the signal. Local channels, Bravo, all the good stuff. I miss nothing on Hulu. Okay. Y'all let me know in comments. Also, maybe there's a referral. So if you get a referral for referring me to Hulu, let me know if you get money. Because the person that I just used as a referral for our fiber, she gets $200, which she's a friend of mine, and I get $100 off. So I love referral money. Ann says Gage is worried about Monroe saying chumps, not chumpettes. He doesn't know the word chumpettes, but he wants everyone to see his wedding plans. He complains about Jeff and his social media. Gage did it for the attention to bother Jeff. And my point is, when you turn comments off, you're well aware it's a very controversial thing and you don't want, the whatever. But he also put this on a grid. It wasn't on a story. A story, only people can reply to that to you as a DM. Nobody would ever see it, but that would disappear in 24 hours. He put this on his grid, meaning assuming he's going to turn it off forever. By the way, nobody asked for a bunion update, but I can tell you the nerves have come alive the last 4 or 5 days. I should have brought ice in. I meant to bring ice in. I've been taking my orthopedic shoe off during the hour that I sit here because I know I'm not going to be moving. I don't want the pressure on the top of my foot, but I can tell you last night I was just laying in bed and all of a sudden I grabbed my little thing so I could lift up my leg, lift like the pressure off of my leg. It has come alive. Oh, Heather says, I live in the wilderness, so I have to use Starlink and purchase all the streaming channels separately. I miss turning on the TV and just channel surfing. I think everyone has to purchase all the streaming channels separately though, right? Who's cheaper, YouTube TV or Hulu? Yeah, I would like to know that too, for sure. It depends on which plan you get. New York City, Hulu is $69.99 a month. Okay, that's cheaper than the $250 I'm paying. And not only do I pay $250, now I think we do have HBO, so I do think we pay for HBO, but I think that's it. Like, I don't pay for everything on DirecTV, but a few times a year it even goes up to $276 because they're adding on the baseball package to ours, so my husband can watch the Chicago Cubs. Oh, both Hulu and YouTube are $89, someone says. Oh, it's $82.99 in Texas, Khaki says. Wow. Lisa says, I'm trying to wean myself off of Spectrum. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And why? My parents got cable in the 80s or whenever it was first available. And I'm like, there was like 30 channels. And even back then as a kid, I was cheap. I'm like, why do you have to pay for like USA Network when we're not watching that? Like, nobody was watching that, but you had to pay it. To me, it's like all these pitiful channels that nobody's watching. It's a free market. It is America. If nobody's watching the channels and they're losing money, then that channel goes away. If I go into a store and I want to buy a beautiful pink sweater, just because it comes in this ugly yellow and purple and green, I'm just making up colors, just because I don't have to buy all those colors. It's like a pity sale that we have to buy all the freaking channels. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. It's competition. If you ain't watching, then you're not worth, paying for. Me too. That might be my problem. Michael says, I'd love to switch, but I like all my shows recorded on my DVR and I have to just go to one place and watch them. Me too. So let me know if that's going to be a problem. I guess we could we've just never had cable. I haven't had cable since the 90s, since I was in an apartment. I've literally had DirecTV since like 95 or 96. Kimberly says, can't you still get regular cable for like $100 a month? I don't even know. I have no idea. My kids don't even watch TV. They watch all the streaming stuff. They watch old shows. No teenagers watch all the new stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't. Oh, Tracy says, I record all of mine on Hulu. Michael Riley, let's make a deal. Let's switch to Hulu. Okay, Dolly Girl says, I started using Hulu Live in 2018 when it first came out. Single woman was able to do it. So easy. You can record on both Hulu and YouTube, unlimited DVR. Oh, and you know what? My DirecTV is so old. It always tells me I have like 46% left on my, and then I got to go and delete stuff. You know what I mean? Raquel says they have Verizon Fios, Fios. I don't know what that is. Oh, Michael Riley says, I never even heard of Hulu Live until right now. I thought Hulu was just the app. I didn't know it was TV stuff either. Oh, but that's for cable and internet. Lucy says, I pay $253 for cable and internet. Well, my internet alone is $119, but it's about to be cheaper with fiber, and it's going to be forever that price. Anyway, so whatever 119 plus 250 is what I was paying. 250 because I don't get the bulk. $369 a month. Makes me want to vomit. Anyways. Oh, Khaki says, unfortunately, Verizon isn't available in our area in Texas. So weird that like the Houston area wouldn't have Verizon or wouldn't have everything available to it. Anyways, kind of crazy. Okay, Dark. The Valley, episode 10 last night. Wow. And then Watch What Happens Live with Jax Taylor and Tom Schwartz, and then we will chat Jeff Lewis live, obviously. Wow. So it opens up. Jesse goes and picks up Jax from rehab. Remember, Jason's the one that brought him. So Jesse goes and picks him up. Still has anger issues. Like he's literally out that day after spending 30 days. His anger issues, he's like, nobody visited me. Nobody ever came. That made me really sad because I guess I kind of thought some of them would, even maybe because there's no cameras. I mean, I don't know anything about rehab, but maybe, or his rehab, because obviously Andy Cohen kind of jabbed him, Jax Taylor, about was this even a real rehab? Like, what was the name of it? Do you feel comfortable saying that? Which I thought was thought that part was a little harsh. Andy Cohen was a little harsh on Watch What Happens Live. But anyways, Jax says, the hardest part about being in rehab is that nobody came and visited me. And, I just felt like neglected. Like, I think a lot of the things he was doing, he was saying was like reaching out to see if anyone cared. Like he would do this to see if somebody cared, what have you. It was very dark, very emotional, very whatever. Then him like dogging Brittany, because that's what he's going to do, about no woman needs a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom house. We need to sell this house immediately. And I'm like, okay, I don't think y'all needed a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom house with one kid. Like, it's not like y'all ever talked about, oh, let's fill this house up with 6 kids, what have you. Also, I'm pretty sure they both got over their heads financially, but unless I'm wrong, didn't it feel like Brittany is trying to keep the house? Like she's like, I'm going to revamp it, make it my own. I don't know how much money she is making, but geez, that house has got to be crazy expensive. Now, I have no idea how well her podcast is doing now that she does it on her own. I hope to God it makes $1 million a year. But I also know $1 million a year after taxes and after the prices of West Hollywood, and that $1 million doesn't go super far with a house like that. That note was super expensive. And we know I had a hair tickling my bra strap. We know that Jax had like $1.2 million lumped onto the mortgage. So I don't know if he'll have to pay that separately. We don't know. It was very, very interesting. I think so too. And why would she want it? I mean, I wouldn't want to be a single woman with a 3 or 4-year-old son in a big, huge house like that. Kay Kitty said she's delusional if she thinks she can afford that home. Smiling says Jax's energy seemed exactly the same as before rehab. He did say he's 201 days sober, so I'm very proud of him for that. But he even admits multiple times on the show and then on Watch What Happens Live that anger and his reactions are the biggest problem. And he said, and I still have that problem. So all that therapy, I don't know what kind of a rehab he was in. It just said mental health facility. So I'm kind of assuming obviously, if you're doing drugs and alcohol, you probably have something that is deep down, which he did in fact admit. I released a lot of things that I thought I was going to go to my grave with. So I don't know what demons Jax Taylor is dealing with. I would hope that getting that out would help him with his future anger issues. But I don't know how you fix anger issues. Like lots more therapy. He wasn't talking about going to therapy. When he got out, he got a haircut, he got Botox, he went out to dinner with friends. I mean, he didn't go see Cruz, his kid that he hadn't seen. Oh, watch her on the after show. Wait, who? Oh, I didn't even think to watch the after show. Dolly Girl says, unpopular opinion. I think Jack should be on the show. He needs to support his kid. We're always wanting reality on these shows, and we finally have it, and now we want him off. You know, good point. I mean, seriously. And also, I'm not all for cutting off people financially. I mean, go do your thing. It's like he's done reality TV has been his job for, I don't know how long. When did Vanderpump Rules start? A long time. So, a podcast, these live events, getting paid to go, whatever, Instagram ads, all of that. You're right. I don't want him cut off financially. And when we say go get a job, that's like saying that to Kim Kardashian, not Kim Kardashian, Kim and Croy. It's like they've done that has been their job for years. So when you cut that off, it does cut off the ability to pay for all their stuff. You know what I mean? Khaki says, sell that house. Darla says, Jax is a narcissist. They never change. He's just trying to keep getting a paycheck. And he says that he thinks about himself and, he does everything for a reaction. So it was very interesting. Margaret says, why would Brittany need a house that large? And if anything, I don't know. Do they have any money to get out of the house? Hopefully the money has increased, the home value has increased. And also it being Jax and Brittany, maybe that is like a celebrity thing and people want to buy that. I don't know. Cecile says she's going to try to keep it just on principle alone. So very interesting. Oh my goodness. They probably owe more than what the house is worth. So how do you remedy that? Like, do you just keep making extra payments so you can get better with the house? Like, I don't know. D. Dot says, we don't know her financial status. Maybe she can't afford it. But again, if you don't know your financial future and you've got a son and you don't know how much you can rely on your soon-to-be ex-husband financially or in any other way, like, I don't know. I just don't know that I would want, and personally, I wouldn't want a house that big, just scary wise, just thinking of all the entry points. And I would just want small little condo or something. I don't know, a little 2-bedroom house, or 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. Raquel says, Max never changed. He has always been like this. Now she realizes it. Max Jax, I bet you meant. Dolly Girl. Dolly Girl says, my ex said I should downsize too. Yeah, STFU. I will do what I want. And clearly she's going to do what she wants. We're just giving her opinions. Smilene says, I'm all for Jax being on the show, but he is abusive. That's too much. But I would argue there's probably a lot of abusive relationships on TV that we just don't yet know about. And maybe we never find out about it. So I don't know. I mean, clearly he admits to the emotional abuse. But it was only, I don't think $1 million goes far in LA, especially how they spend. I mean, Kimberly says, I think Brittany has all that Weight Watcher money and she has brand deals galore. Okay. Anyways, just seems like a waste of money to me, unless she's keeping it because she knows, oh, let me keep this in 3 years. It'll be good to fix. You know what I mean? Does she though? Markel says, if Jax isn't on the show, Brittany doesn't have a storyline. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like dating and raising, their son, Cruz. I don't know. Yes. For sure. Kim says Jax has had those same anger issues since Vanderpump Rules season 1. I wonder if he uses steroids. Well, isn't that why he had the boobies? Because he admitted to using steroids, or he admitted to using something that was causing the moobs, right? He literally had he had like fatty boobs, and that was a side effect, I felt like, from like testosterone or steroids or something that he was taking. It was something like that. Raquel says, well, you're right. You're right. And this is why I always say, when people say we don't want drama on reality TV, I'm like, that is what, that's like saying, don't put sex in a movie. Sex sells. Having boobies out, a sexy dress, a short dress. I mean, that's why people, everyone that says, oh, I do my hair and makeup for myself. I would argue that most people do hair and makeup for other people's reaction and the compliments and how good it makes them feel. And it makes them feel good because they see it, but they also are getting positive results from other people. Just my opinion. Raquel, and I don't want to hear it. Well, great. If you do, you do. I'm just putting it out there. Raquel says, if it weren't for Jax yesterday, it would have been a very boring episode. So Bravo knows that, and that's why they are keeping him on the show. Absolutely. It has to be a dirty show. I mean, the whole thing about Jesse hosting what's his face's party, the party for the boyfriend, Zach's boyfriend that was apparently coming in. That was all about Jax. That was all about Brittany being there. That was their reaction, them seeing each other. It was all very whatever. Dee says, with that tax lien tacked onto that mortgage payment, she's screwed either way. I mean, that was his before they got married. So I really hope somehow legally, and I don't know that they can, because I feel like if she agreed, whatever the legal, whatever the rules were, that she agreed, if her name is on that mortgage, I'm assuming that means she agreed to put his $1.2 million tax debt onto that mortgage. So I'm assuming that means she took responsibility for that. Not that she is responsible for that. This was tax money he owed before they got married. But if she made that decision and both their names are on there, that somebody, I know there's a lot of y'all in mortgage, so let me know if that's what that makes sense. I personally never knew you could have your tax debt go onto your mortgage. Like, that's wild to me. Seems like tax debt would be what you owe the government, and your mortgage loan will be what you owe a bank or a mortgage company. Like, it seems like two separate people. I get if you're paying the same people, they just divvy out their part and divvy. But also, why wouldn't he just make a payment to that? Why does it have to be tacked onto the mortgage? Like, they're two different things. That's like saying I pay my car note and my mortgage together. No, I pay my car note and I pay my mortgage. Like, two separate people. What Instagram comments? Kimberly says, I was in the Instagram comments last night. Someone accused Brittany of cocaine use, and Brittany and Kristen Dowdy were commenting live. Kristen told the commenter to watch her mouth. Don't slander. What live? Who was live? Obviously, Kristen took a break from new mommy duties and was texting or commenting publicly before that Jax shouldn't be allowed on Watch What Happens Live. And then she literally posted or had Zach post from his Twitter, which was weird. I'm like, get your own dang Twitter. Like, why are you, like, what'd she do? Like, feeding the baby a bottle and like, hold on. Hey, Zach, post on your TikTok. This is Kristen Dowdy and Jax, don't say my name. I'm like, oh, honey, you were watching Watch What Happens Live. You were hoping he said your name. Like, trust me, that's all y'all want is your name to be in everyone's mouth. Don't get it wrong, honey. Mariah says, yes. Mariah says, I mean this in the nicest, most polite way, but have you noticed that Jax always brings up the death of his father to garner sympathy? It's like clockwork every time. Yeah. And I get when he said that what he went through with rehab and the betrayal and him feeling like nobody cared and nobody came to visit him. And then when he gets out, he's bombarded with his stuff has been thrown in garbage bags. He finds out the night before that they had named the thing Brit's bar instead of his bar. What else did he say? There was something else he felt like, was just, being served divorce papers. I think he was saying this was even harder than losing his father, but I get it. A lot of people bring up the hardest thing in their lives when they're going through something, and Jax Taylor, I mean, that's all he's ever going to do. But I'm like, Jax, like at some point you got to realize, yes, it sucks. Your father passed away, but also it's life and things happen in life, and we have to pull our boots up from the straps and whatever that's called. Pull our bootstraps up, right? Um, yeah, Raquel says when Jax wants to get out of a relationship, he'll act crazy until the girl gives up. Yeah. I don't think Brittany is denying. Remember in episode 1 or whenever there was where she's coming at him and saying, "You've got to change." He's like, "Oh, don't act like you haven't partied too." I mean, she's like, "No, but like I don't have a problem. Like I'm not, this isn't affecting me." And I think now we know it might have been the drugs and alcohol, but more so Jax is admitting it's his anger and he wells up and lashes out and things like that. I don't disagree with that, but I don't think she will because I think Brittany loves, loves, loves the fame. I think her mama loves the fame and loves going to LA. And yeah, Michelle says Brittany should move back to Kentucky and live around her family and raise her son unless her divorce decree requires her to live in LA. I mean, some people's divorce decree will require them to live in the same county or the state and not move away or go back to court if they do. That way, both parents can see them. So I don't think they will ever move away from LA. Like, yeah, Cecile, so she loves Hollywood. I know. I thought I'd heard, and I don't know if this is true. I thought I'd heard in LA or California that houses were so expensive that people get like 50-year loans, like even more than a normal 30-year loan or 15-year loan, which 15-year is very rare. That's most people that put down a lot of money or something, whatever. Um, Kimberly says, I wanted to ask how sober he is. If it's just for Coke, that's fantastic. But don't tell us you're sober when you're snorkeling Adderall. Yeah, I would assume he's off all of that, but he didn't really say, right? Um, Dee says that can't be removed because she co-signed on it. So I assume you're talking about the $1.2 million thing. Can't be removed, which kind of makes sense if they agreed on it, right? Yeah, I wonder. Mama Judy says in the divorce, can that be separated out? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. She can afford it now, but do a short-sighted for the but so short-sighted for the future, and our property taxes are crazy high, Melissa says. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he definitely said he was gonna drink eventually, like socially, but I don't necessarily think that was his problem necessarily. I really do think it's like what came first. He's angry, so he does coke. He does coke, so he's angry. Like I don't know which came first with Jax Taylor, right? Dee says I agree. I don't think he is clean and sober. Big difference. What people think sober is these days differs from person to person. Oh, okay. Where I know. I asked the same thing on Instagram. Raquel says, "Where do they get all their money? Look at the apartment he moved to. I mean, the condo had 2 levels and then this outdoor space. How in the heck did the condo literally next door to Tom Schwartz become available? Like that's crazy." And boy, Schwartz was not necessarily siding. Schwartz was very boy, he was really kind of not taking up, which he shouldn't. The fact that he was even there at Watch What Happens Live, I'm sure caused him a lot of ruckus, but crazy. Yes. Mama Judy says Jax is still going to drink. He admitted it. He said his problem wasn't drugs and alcohol, it was anger. I mean, honey, what does that mean? Bravo and Stone says, honey, I can build a small ark holding a baby. I don't know what that means. Oh, PJ says she probably refinanced her house at a higher price. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of whatever. Oh, wait, what? Mama Judy says Jax blocked Kristen, so she used Zach's phone. But people would have still, like, she still could have posted that publicly. Like, just because Jax was blocked. I mean, he's live at Watch What Happens Live. He wasn't going to see the tweet or whatever it is, the X, whatever it's called now. Yeah. Mariah says Britt definitely loves the spotlight, but there's so many people that live for external validation. I can't wait to see where all these people will be in 10 years' time. Many of them live above their means. I worry about that too, about them living above their means or living in their means now, but that's very much a career where you have no idea next month are you going to have that or next year or in 5 years. you could be a nobody. I mean, people can be huge on social media. I mean, what's the Demure girl, the TikToker lady? Like, what's going on with her? Is she famous still? Do her TikToks never come up on my TikTok anymore? Is she still getting millions of views? I have no idea. Like, but she was huge, and everyone was talking about, her Demure and the merch she was going to do. I never hear of her anymore. No idea. Ryan says Brittany knew what she was getting into from the beginning. She liked the fame. Yeah, very much so. Michelle says buying homes or condos in LA, the entry point is $1 million for a condo and goes up from there depending on how close you are to the beach. Sounds about right. But and that was I mean, it looked brand new. The outdoor space up above. I mean, that was no cheap. And I'm like, how is Tom Schwartz paying for this? You know what I mean? How is he paying for this? Yes. Sorry, y'all are really commenting a lot, and I love reading all your comments. Dee says Jax will never ever tell his real story regarding his addictions because it's way too revealing and extremely telling. He wouldn't have a job or anything else for that matter. Oh, I don't know. I think LA, I think the nation, I think the world, reality TV, celebrity. I think a lot of people have come out and said, look, I'm struggling with this, what have you. And it garners sympathy, but also it lets people know they're valid, they're being honest and vulnerable. So as long as you make changes to your life or still keep talking about your struggles and how you're trying to make change. Like, I would have liked to have seen him go to therapy that day or go to Al-Anon or whatever he goes to, Alcoholics Anonymous, if that's a thing that I don't know. I would have, maybe you can't show him going to that. His hair was tickling me. Gosh, it's like all I do is lose hair the older you get. See, look, another little hair came out. Got to keep up my protein for the weight loss shot. Anyways, Raquel says it's sad to see Tom Schwartz having to hang with Jax. It's like he can never get rid of him. Sometimes people outgrow friendships. It's time for Tom to go his way. I guess he was on Watch What Happens Live because he had nothing to promote. He's now doing a podcast. He's not doing anything. I'm like, how are you making money? How are you making enough to live there? I mean, that reality TV money must be way bigger than we ever think, because I felt like obviously Schwartz and Sandy's closed down. They probably were in debt from it. I don't know. I thought Lisa Vanderpump bought them out from the 5%. So they're now not making any money from TomTom. Why is it even called TomTom if it has nothing to do with them? Like, I don't even know. I know. PJ says it never stops. Now Tyler Perry is being sued for sexual assault. I know. I did see that. Oh, Cecile, good job. She just had her protein drink with collagen and creatine. Love that. I need to look into creatine. Muscle building for sure. Tom will never leave Jax. I don't know. I mean, I think Tom will never leave Tom Sandoval. I think they're still good friends. And, oh, Tom Schwartz has a podcast too? Oh my God. I don't think I knew that did I know? What is his about? Oh, geez, Louise. Tom Schwartz has a podcast? Oh my gosh. I mean, why didn't they promote? They didn't promote. Oh, is that what it's called? Detox Retox with Tom Schwartz? Is he what? Detox Retox with Tom Schwartz is your weekly dose of mindfulness and mischief. 1 week we dive into wellness, self-improvement, and balance. The next we indulge in life's pleasures like great food, travel, and a little chaos. With fun guests and real talk, it's all about finding harmony in the contrast. Okay. Well, there's his. I'm trying to show it so TikTok and YouTube can see it. Detox Retox. I mean, it's very hippie, very zen, very. How many episodes? Okay, let me see when this started. It's got lots of good reviews. It started in April, and Katie Maloney was on it the first time with his ex-wife. Mindful microdosing and mimosas with Katie Maloney on April 22nd. Okay, so April, May, June, July. No, it's very new. May, June. Oh my God, it's very new. Okay. No wonder I didn't know about it. It's a very new podcast. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Joe. Dana Maria says, I told him to have Joe on his podcast talk about ratings. He did say he would unblock her probably in the next month. And I'm like, no, don't. Like Joe is, woo, she scares me. Raquel says next season, we'll see Jax with a new lady and Brittany will be jealous. It's just going to keep going, the drama. Oh, and I can see Jax very purposefully trying to have another baby with some other girl. That way he had 24/7 and you didn't have to share the baby with Brittany. I can definitely see him doing that. Darla says, what's the name of the Facebook group called, please? Sarah from Texas podcast, that one? Anyways, I don't know what other Facebook group. Okay, real quick, didn't know that Jax also had a $20,000 couch. Jax isn't friends, admittedly, with Zach. So why was he going to his party? Like, this is a party that Zach was hosting for his boyfriend to come back into the country or whatever it was for. The only reason Jesse hosted it is because his place is bigger. It was very much set up for the drama to be seen of the awkwardness of the first time that Brittany and Jax were going to see each other. It was awful. But the fact that we had already heard that, so at the end of the show, they show Jax at his condo and Tom Schwartz is there. And then they show someone knock at the door and Jax is like, oh, someone's here. And I'm like, dude, your cameras are up. You've got production everywhere. You know if somebody's coming over or not. And he goes, he's like, you've been served. He didn't even know what it's about. Now, I had already heard last year, whenever this was, that he had been served and they didn't have it on camera. So they refilmed it and him being served when the cameras were up. So if that's true, it was the fakest, most grossest, whatever, because he literally goes to the door and he's like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, it's your divorce, you know? And then Tom's like, oh, I was just joking whenever I said you were served divorce papers. I'm like, you were? Super interesting. Then Jax, of course, tells Zach, this is my show. And Zach was like, well, it hasn't been your show for the last 30 days. I'm like, oh, damn. Thank you, Robin. We are almost at 16,000 likes over on TikTok. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I know your finger is tapping like crazy, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you for everyone else that's watching. There's 34 of y'all over on TikTok. So if all of y'all would just tap the screen, I would very much appreciate it. Okay, Watch What Happens Live was super awkward. Jax Taylor and Tom Schwartz, it almost came on at the beginning, almost like one of those one-on-ones that Andy Cohen has done with people. For the first 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, are they even going to say anything to Tom Schwartz? Then they do these awkward polls. Production should have just canceled all those polls. They were super gross, super, I don't want to say harsh, because I don't want to say that I feel sorry for Jax Taylor. But I do want to say, like I said, when it happened on the Valley, when they were throwing his shit in garbage bags and like, oh, I don't care if this shoe's in that bag and that shoe. I'm like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I get anger, but like, I don't know. I thought it was harsh, knowing he was going to come get all that the day he got out of rehab for 30 days. So I want to say it did hit me hard when he said that nobody visited him, because I guess I felt like if Jason was good enough friends to drop him off, if Jesse was good enough friends to pick him up, if Tom Schwartz is good enough friends to be there for him and try to pump him up in the condo with the divorce thing and like read over the divorce decree and kind of explain things and, you know, make him feel positive and then go and Watch What Happens Live, you would think like, why didn't anyone come visit? I mean, was he far away? I think he even got to leave the rehab, because I think they would talk about how he would come home and like cover or uncover the cameras at the house, right? So I don't know. It was all very interesting to me. Maybe nobody wanted to film because the place wouldn't allow them to film, and they only wanted to go visit if it was being filmed, which is even grosser, right? Like seriously. Ugh. Yes. True. Raquel says the worst was when Michelle and Jesse were on the mean comments on I could hear crickets. So was somebody doing an Instagram live while watching like a screening of Watching the Valley? And you said Brittany and Kristen were on talking? Like, how did I not hear about that? Dang it. That would have been so good. I didn't understand it either. Lisa said when Andy asked Jax what was the name of the rehab place, Jax said the name, but I couldn't understand what he said either. But I also didn't know why he said it. Like, are we promoting it? Did they give him a discount? Did they give Bravo a discount? Does Bravo pay for this? Does Jax pay for this? I remember Jax was giving them financial information whenever, he first went in or whatever. What? Gina says because he wasn't in rehab, he was in Alex Baskin's basement. No, he better have been in rehab. He talked about 7 hours of therapy a day. He better not have been lying about that. Tracy says, I felt for Jax, but it seemed like he was out a lot. Maybe that was the problem. Oh, see, I guess I didn't really see all that on social media I guess it happened. Is this last August? I'm not even sure. Okay, Kimberly says, Britt and Kristen were watching comments and commenting live. They were not on a live, they were commenting in real time. Oh, on their Instagram, like in stories or something? on each of theirs? Interesting. Okay. I guess I did that last night too. Because I literally made a story and I'm like, oh my God, it's only 14 minutes in. This is one of the darkest shows ever. So I guess I was going Instagram, I was commenting on Instagram as it was too. Anyways. Yes, we talked about at the beginning. Rebecca just heard about that Karen Reed. Yes. What was Jack's fake name account? It was like, first of all, it was a wrong. The reason he set up that name, I'm looking at my stories because it was on there last night. Dремon, and it's from some movie, Frank_Dремon. So it's still active unless he's deactivated it today. Frank_Dремon, DREMON_. Geez Louise. Jeez Louise. Okay. On a lighter note, let's chat about today's Jeff Lewis Live. Phaedra Parks was on with Ryan Bailey. What a good combo. I loved it. I loved that they talked about the funeral home business. I loved that she taught me some things. Like, I didn't know that she didn't already own this diamond thing that she might ended up buying. I didn't know she had partners. I didn't know all the kinds of law that she does. I didn't know that she met Andy Cohen from representing, oh gosh, what's his name? Whitney Houston. Was it that reality TV show? She was representing someone in a reality TV show, and that's how she met and had lunch with Andy Cohen like 20 years ago. Very interesting. So she doesn't even do her own negotiations. She has an attorney for that because she said an attorney that represents themselves has a fool for a client. Bobby Brown, thank you. But wasn't that the whole Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown reality TV show? Oh, a whole phone? Cecile says Janet has a burner phone just to look, but she never responds. I don't think you have to have a whole phone. I think you just have a new Instagram account or something. Yeah, I don't. About Phaedra's? Raquel says, I wanted to hear more about her co-parenting stories. I don't think she talked about her ex at all or how they co-parent or any of those issues. Does she co-parent at all? I do think she said he's turned out to be a good father once he's out of once he got out of prison. What's his name? Like Romeo or something like that. I thought she was so good. I thought it was really good. Let me know. A lot of y'all said you thought she was boring. And someone said, I think on the Facebook group, that she talked too much about the funeral home. I thought it was perfect. I want to be Phaedra when I grow up. Like her kids have chores. Apollo, thank you. Her kids have chores, like they hand wash dishes. One at 15 years old has this amazing week-long intern. I was about to say Instagram internship. Like, that's amazing. Like crazy. Thank you, Darla, for joining the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. It's just an easier way to chat and like meetups and things like that too. They're over there making fun of him. Oh, Lisa says, I jumped on TikTok and looked up Frank Dremon, Dremon, and they're over there making fun of him. Um, Anyways, I thought it was super good. Perfect pairing with Ryan Bailey. He is such a huge Bravo fan. He knew so much about Phaedra. He's so complimentary. It was really good. I cannot believe her employees at the funeral home wear Christian Louboutin shoes. And I think she was also saying like Yves Saint Laurent or some other fancy brand. I was like, geez, Louise, like these people got to wear these big high heels. Like that's tacked onto the fee. Tacked onto the fee for sure. Yes, yes. Louise says what Phaedra did to Candy is unforgivable to me. I mean, I don't remember all the details. It was quite a long while ago, but basically Phaedra was lying flat out saying that Candy it was awful. It was awful. I'm not even going to talk about it. Just awful. But I guess even somebody said recently, if somebody can forgive, I think Andy Cohen or maybe John Hill said this, maybe John Hill. If somebody can forgive Phaedra Parks, then all is well in Bravo. And they were like, well, it's true. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, on the second hour was Ashley Simpson Ross and Kelly Wagner. I'm going to tell you my thought. Remember how he has talked about that Kelly Wagner used to be a casting agent, and now that she's divorced, she needs her own money. She needs a career. She's trying to think what to do. She needs to be there for her 2 kids. So she's trying to think. I feel like Kelly and Ashley met at their kids' school, like they talked about in kindergarten 4 years ago. And Kelly said, hey, we both know Jeff Lewis. Like you were on Hollywood House Live season 1. I knew him in college. I feel like Kelly told Ashley, you need to revamp your career. I can get you into some. I feel like Kelly has a part, like she's a producer, she's a manager, whatever you want to call it. And it also seems like that's what her husband or ex-husband does, right? Doesn't it seem like her husband manages or represents people, does contracts like 50 Cent, something like that? No, not 50 Cent. Yeah, 50 Cent. Or is that the other one? Yes, it was awful. Kimberly says, Phaedra's a housewife that can do no wrong in my world. I will ride for Phaedra, and I know she's shady. I love Candy too. I can't explain my love for Phaedra. Well, for me, it's the quirky, funny responses that Phaedra has. I love it. And her looks, her like Ryan Bailey said, her responses, her reactions to people are amazing. I didn't watch her on Married to Medicine. I think I only watched Married to Medicine maybe one season, maybe a half of a season. I thought it was super interesting to have OBs on TV and what have you, but just didn't watch it. Oh, Darla's going to put up pictures of her puppy on the Facebook group. Ryan says they will forgive for the right amount of money. Well, and Phaedra makes people money. And I mean, clearly the lineup of the TV show she's done since, I mean, Traitors, Dancing with the Stars, I forget what else she was on, but a lot of stuff. Like she has not been like, I do not know how she gets everything done with everything done. Anyways, but the fact that Kelly, I just felt like Kelly was interrupting her. She was answering questions for her. I just thought it was interesting. Raquel's like, finish your thought about Kelly and Ashley. That's what I think. I feel like Kelly is probably a manager for her. She probably set this up or had something to do with it. Maybe even her ex-husband, Jim, because she is on good terms with him sometimes. Maybe it's Jim that's representing Ashley Simpson. But the fact that she knew the dates, I'm like, well, then let Ashley say the dates. Like, we kind of don't need that from you. Also felt like she was talking over her and like answering her questions for her. It was very interesting. At one point, I didn't think today was Wednesday. I'm like, I don't think we've heard Annie on the mic at all. I swear I was texting with Michael Riley. He had texted me something. And I said, have we heard Annie on the mic this week? And then I swear to you, 5 minutes later, Jeff said something about Annie parking on P3 and not being a good driver. And then Annie said, yeah. And I'm like, oh, there she is. So I don't know. I don't think it's been as much though. It's very interesting. I mean, Was Ashley Simpson like a big deal? Like, I guess I think of Jessica Simpson being I mean, she has 3 albums. I don't think I know any of her music. Like, it's just not I was surprised. Like, I don't know how big the Venetian is or this live event, but the fact that 2 shows sold out immediately and then she's got more shows, I was like, oh, like I wouldn't have thought that. I don't know. Michael Riley says, I don't like Kelly. She's grasping at straws. I just felt like it was okay. Kitty says, I was bored too, and I turned it off after a while. Wow. Oh, she is? Cecile says, oh, I love Ashley Simpson. Hard rock and roll. Oh. So Jessica Simpson, she's like, I think of her as like high heels at Marshall's because I always see beautiful high heels at Marshall's with the Ashley Simpson name. She was a singer, right? And then she was reality TV with when she was married to what's his face. And then now she's more designer. Like I think she makes a shit ton of money from all that. But also, Ashley's married to Diana Ross's son. I mean, she ain't exactly doing this for money, I don't feel like, right? Crazy. I don't know. Yes, about Karen Reed. She was found not guilty on everything. There was quite a few, 3 or 4 different charges. She was found guilty on what they called OUI, which I'm not exactly sure but operating under the influence. So she was driving that must be what they call it in the Boston area, but she was guilty on that and she gets 1 year of probation. So clearly, if you see the videos and she admits she was drinking and the anger and the yelling at him and everything. So very interesting. Oh, wait, what? Raquel says, never forget her lip singing at SNL. I watched that. Whenever Ashley Simpson was popular, I was busy raising babies. Like she wasn't my thing. Ashley was pregnant at 16 while on Nickelodeon. Wait, but she's 40 years old. Is that true? No, I thought that was Britney Spears' sister. I don't know that I was going to Google that, but I'm like, I don't know how to Google when she had her first baby. I don't know. I kind of don't feel like, yeah, that's Britney Spears' sister for sure. That is definitely not Ashley Simpson Ross, but she does seem to have an older son that she must have had before she met Evan Ross for sure. Oh, good question. Jet says, how much weight did you lose the first month of Wegovy? I think it was 7 or 8 pounds. I really can't remember the first month of Wegovy. Right now, I've lost 34 pounds since mid-January. So 5 months on compounded tirzepatide. And then I did 1 month of Wegovy. So excited. It's really changed my life. Like I just don't obsess over food. I don't think about food. I just eat it when I need to eat it. I make sure I eat enough. I focus on protein and water. It's literally a miracle medicine. I'm so happy to be on it for sure. Darla says, how can she be found guilty on OUI? She was never given a sobriety test the night of the accident. I have no idea. Blood work? I have no idea. Don't know any of that. Anyways. Okay, well, again, we're going to wrap it up, but don't forget we are off tomorrow. It's Juneteenth, so I will be off. Jeff Lewis Live will be off. So if there's no show, that's what it is. And I'm also getting fiber installed, so that'll work out perfectly in case there's delays or it takes a lot longer than I think they will. I don't really know how long it's going to take. And I should see you Friday at 4:00 Eastern. Yes, the food chatter is gone. It's so amazing. So check out my link in my link tree to get a $40 off discount on Mochi Health if you want that. I can answer any questions for you. It is so good for me. It's been so good. I have no side effects at all, which is wonderful. And the price is in the hundreds. So basically, if you do semaglutide, it's less than $200 a month with the monthly doctor fees. And if you do compounded tirzepatide, which is what I do, it's less than $300 a month, and that's with the thing. But also, you get a referral code. So if you start giving out your referral code, when you start losing weight, you earn $40 every time a friend or family member signs up off your link. So you get that money taken off of what your medicine ends up costing you. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so check out my link in my link tree. Okay, bye, y'all. See you Friday. Bye, Chumpettes. Thank you for tapping the screen. Over 22,000 likes over on TikTok. Thank you. And over on YouTube, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, please.